Right, what just happened?
Red Emperor. I nearly shot two in one shot. We just lost Travis's gun.
Whew, that just happened.
This day started off really early in the morning with a huge run out, 100+ kilometers, to a place that we know has never been speared before. Bryce and I were pumped, excited. We sounded around, we found this incredible spot. Looked so fishy.
I reckon that's that crack.
Funny hole right there.
Right there.
So we jumped straight in the water. Very first dive, Bryson dove. We weren't quite really sure what to expect. As he got down, looked up to see the bottom, he looked up to see a huge red emperor sitting in front of him. Fin down slowly, lined up on that red, just started to tail away a little bit. He pulled the trigger on this beautiful big red and stoned it. As he started pulling it to the surface, a whole bunch of other red emperor just come up and started to look and following that red up to the surface. These fish are a magnificent fish. For us, one of the fish that we love to target.
Oi, there's another 4 down there that big. I landed on the east side of the spine and there's just red emperor, he was mid-water. And there's one following him up off the bottom. They're all that size, hey? That's big. They're all that size.
I hope they stay there.
Oh, he followed him to the, he was following him up, he's dead mate. Yeah, cheers Carl.
Not bad spot, I guess, eh?
Oh yeah!
Bryson got up, he was telling me what he'd seen. I was just pumped to get to the bottom. I dove, started heading towards the bottom. When I got down, I saw smaller reds. I didn't see any large ones. I saw amberjacks, I saw mangrove jacks. I saw huge amounts of fish and nothing that I really wanted to shoot because I was focused on shooting a big red, and I started to head back to the surface. As I did, this big jobfish just came into me. Bryson had pulling the line, I tugged on it, stop. Shot that big jobfish and it smoked off to the bottom. Now, unfortunately, when it smoked off to the bottom, our rig line snapped and it just kept on going with Bryson's brand new spear gun.
Oops. What was it? Big jobfish. We just lost Travis's gun. I think that line just snapped. Halfway up, big jobfish come up to me.
I couldn't tell what was going on.
No, I was on my way up, and big jobfish come flying at me, and I was like, the rig line snapped. Big jobfish. I'm like, that crimp's failed. And I'm like, no, I can't feel anything on the end of that. How far did he pull down then? Do you reckon he got into the bottom?
I couldn't tell him from the shoes, tell him one more,
Yeah.
or one. But not much.
Yeah.
Bri dove again. He didn't see any reds either, but as he was scanning around, he saw mulloway, he saw cobia, he saw obviously huge amounts of surgeonfish, he saw just unbelievable amounts of fish. And as he was about to head to the surface, he noticed a really nice snapper behind him. He turned, but that snapper tailed off, and he headed back to the surface because it's a pretty deep dive.
There's a big red on the sand up there. There's mulloway, there's 5 kilo snapper, and big jobfish.
He got up just saying, oh man, so many fish. So I breathed up and I dove again. When I come down again, I just landed perfectly and there was so many fish. But I noticed in amongst the surgeonfish, some really really good red emperor. Started finning towards them. They just hang off a little bit. They didn't quite want to give me a shot. Just kept following, kept following, kept following. Finally, just got a shot on that really nice red.
That flopper didn't open, eh? It went all the way through him. It was like a foot out the other side of him and didn't toggle till it was in the skin.
So you the one sitting on the stand with the mulloway?
There was no mulloway. But there was 4 reds,
Yeah.
and he was definitely the biggest.
Okay.
I'm about to shoot one, I look up, like, oh, he's twice the size of the other one. Give it the spear come out his face.
Pulled it back to the surface. We were stoked. 2 really good reds in the boat. This is like first thing in the morning, and we're already got some really nice fish. Bro got pumped, ready to dive again. He too come down on some really nice red emperor. You can see so clearly big schools of red emperor sitting like that. This spot had never been dove before. This site is one I could never get sick of. Bryson followed them, lined up, shot himself another really nice red. Now maybe you're not a fisherman or you're not from Australia and you don't know what a red emperor is or why we're so excited about them. Number one, these fish are so tasty. They are one of my favourite eating fish, beautiful to eat. Secondly, they're a fish that we don't find very often here. You can see we are hunting them in very deep water. This is the sort of area that they live in large numbers and at this size here on the east coast of Australia. From spear fishermen to line fishermen, one of the most highly sought after fish here in our area. We're stoked, we're high-fiving. Can't believe how well it's unfolding to shoot a couple of really awesome red emperor like this. Threw that fish in the boat and it came back to my turn to dive. I was breathing up, again as always, trying to relax, trying to calm myself down. And as I headed down and I first ran into that school of surgeon, I'd seen some nice snapper off in the distance. So I headed down and pulled up beside that rock and just laid there. I just began to scratch a little bit. Surgeons parted and off in the distance I could see a really good school of snapper coming in. I was trying to pick which fish to shoot and they turned and all started heading off. At one stage it looked like they were lining up, but I picked the closest one that was one of the nicest fish and just secured a beautiful snapper.
Nice fish.
I nearly shot 2 in one shot.
Nice fish. That's sick.
See that silverfish whaler?
It's right underneath.
Out in the sand in the Sergios.
To the east.
I scanned once, I'm like, oh, there's 2 snapper right in front of me, side by side. I'm like, I'm gonna get double shot. And then they just turned as I shot.
Were you out to the west, were you?
West.
Right over again, didn't really see a lot. And again, it was my turn. I'm breathing up, relaxing, trying to, in my head, not think about the awesome fish that are on the bottom. I headed to the bottom and again, I come down through those surgeon fish and I just see some really nice reds. We'd already shot a couple, so they're getting a bit coy, a bit harder to shoot. Followed them, followed them. A couple spooked off. Fortunately, one just slowed up enough, and it was the biggest one. I got myself another really good red emperor.
I reckon we've ploughed enough reds.
Did you land in the crack?
Yeah, just off it, and there's reds everywhere. They're all this size though.
Yeah.
I can keep moving, eh?
We got back in the boat and we were all just absolutely pumped. We'd shot a couple of red emperor each, so we pretty much decided we were going to leave the red emperor and move somewhere else. We looked in that esky.
Oh, those fish.
Just show us what happened, bro.
That just happened.
A few red dogs. Red dog, pink dog. Thank you very much. What's just going on?
Redemption. We got a new spot. First time I've ever dove it. It's a big long ridge with a crack in the middle of it. And there's everything down there. Jobfish, jacks, mulloway, red emperor, amberjacks.
We decided we'd take enough fish from this spot, so it was time to move. We headed to the next spot and sounded over an area that looked a little bit fishy and an area that I'd sounded over before. So I thought, you know what, I actually really want to dive this spot. Jumped in and had a really quick dive. I headed down to the bottom. It's a bit dirtier on this spot. And as I got to the bottom, I just noticed there was a huge pearl perch. Gave me a bad angle, I followed him. Finally got a shot, pulled up a 2.5 kilo pearl perch, which for Queensland is an absolute monster.
Nice.
Could have shot a bit better, couldn't I?
Many down there?
Nah. One big.
These are good pearly.
There's actually no fish there, eh? I land on nothing really. Just a bit of a ledge.
It's getting late in the afternoon and poor Kyle, who'd been with us all day, hadn't yet shot a fish or really even seen the bottom because all the spots we'd been diving were over 40 meters. So we headed into the shallows and Kyle jumped in with me just to see if he could shoot a fish. First dive, Kyle and I landed together. Kyle picked out a really nice Maori cod. These fish also are really tasty. Shot that Maori cod, got himself a fish for the day. It's getting late, I thought I'd do one more dive. I land on the bottom and I just took down with me a little 70 centimeter roller gun. As I hit the bottom, I noticed a really nice gold spot wrasse. Again, tasty fish, but usually really smart. Hard fish to shoot with a 70 centimeter roller. Luckily enough, he just gave me half a look. And I nailed myself a really awesome gold spot wrasse to finish the day. Now, these are days that always going to be in my memory. Fish like this, diving like this. For Brian and I, this is the sort of stuff that we get so excited about. Diving deep water, targeting challenging fish to find, areas that we know have never been dove before. Oh, just mind blowing. Hey, next episode, we got a really cool one. I do another solo dive, jump on a jet ski, don't miss it. It's gonna be an absolute incredible episode. Hey, Spearfishing Down Under crew, don't click off just yet. I just got in from diving and I've got some really exciting news. Adreno, who is the sole distributor of Reef here in Australia, and many people have been asking me about my Reef gear, have given me a 10% discount code for all of our Spearfishing Down Under crew. All you need to do is online or in store, quote Tim Spear, and it'll enable you to get a 10% discount on all the Reef gear across the store. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. We hope you like, subscribe, We hope you keep making comments. Send me some messages on Instagram, Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Get in the water, do some diving.